Hello to anyone that is watching. My name's Robson. This is my beautiful woman, Teresia. Teska. As we say, do I get hello? Hi.
Hello.
If you're new to the channel, this is our first video. Maybe you've been me and Teska have actually in the future made 100 videos, and now you've scrolled all the way down to the bottom of our page and are watching our first video, and you can see that we've gone on our journey. So if you are doing that, make sure you let us know in the comment section below so we can get back to this moment and have a little thing about me being a prophet.
That is so mean to say out loud, isn't it?
What is that? What does that mean? A prophet? Yeah, no, not like profit for money, as in prophet, like Muhammad the prophet predicted the future, or whatever like that.
Okay, disclaimer needed right there. Thank
you
very much.
Not like that. So for anyone that is watching, me and Teska are in a long distance relationship. Hence why we're having to do this meeting over Zoom. So thank God for Zoom, and thank God for modern technology. Otherwise, I'd be writing letters right about now. I'd have to wait for.
That's keeping our relationship going.
Yeah.
This is the glue.
If I was writing a letter, I'd have to wait like 2 weeks for Teska to reply to one thing that I'd said, and then another all the stuff would have happened in those 2 weeks. So
yeah, we used to write letters. We used to, but we will get to it, I reckon. We used to, like, a little thing.
Oh, you mean
just post it up. Yeah,
but we never like sent them in the post. Oh no, we did actually sometimes. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we've got gift boxes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, before we get into it, me and Teska, we wanted to get on here. We've created a channel for ourselves. Obviously, we're in a long distance relationship, and we are looking for ways to express ourselves. I feel like me and Teska have a lot of stuff we like to say, like everyone does in the world. And this is something that me and Teska have been able to do, and we got together and we thought, what have we experienced on? What can we talk about and give value to? And I feel that is the fact that we've managed to maintain long distance relationship for almost 2 years now.
They've been incredible experiences together, growing strong together. But it's such a journey, because this long distance has been a thing for us ever since we met, right? This whole subject was part of our relationship even before we actually were in the relationship. It was the way we had to cope from the beginning. So I think that might be one of the strengths we have in the relationship as well, because we never really knew any other way to it. I reckon if we were prior living together for a certain period of time, and then suddenly you have to go away, or me, and we would have to go with a long distance, it would be actually harder, because we would know what we kind of lost, or what we don't have in a relationship. So
we didn't.
So we can't speak from that experience, but we can tell how it was for us since the beginning, having this exact experience.
Adding on from that, we came into this relationship with no expectations, did we? We didn't have any expectations. We never probably didn't think at the start that we were going to get together, because obviously the distance, but we never shut that idea off, did we? That we were always open to the idea. Well, we didn't even think about it, actually. We just went with the process. We just lived presently in the moment as such. And maybe that's why we've said moments with you, because it was always like that. It was always in the beginning, before we decided to commit to a long distance relationship, it was always kind of like that we would just spend a few days together, and then we would then have no expectations about the relationship. We would just have fun, and that would be it, basically.
Yeah, and I wanted to travel at the time, and I was just also having the best experience of my life in Cyprus, and I was like, I am fine by myself. I don't need anyone. I am an independent woman. Definitely not looking for a man.
Yeah.
And then there you were.
Hold my beer.
The universe was like, okay. Now you're saying that. Wait for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Likewise, though, to be honest, I wasn't. I think that was. I think that's the thing that has made this relationship work in the start, is that me and you we weren't actively looking for a relationship. Like and we weren't. I mean, we weren't adverse to the idea as such, but we didn't ever think, oh, I'm looking to be in a relationship with anyone, with this person. It was just that we met and we liked each other, obviously, and we had fun together. But it wasn't until, obviously, I think after we spent that time together and we see each other a couple more times, we realised how much fun we did have with one another.
Yeah, just everything works out perfectly. In my opinion, everything was just the way it was supposed to be. And obviously it got harder for us after we actually realized that it's like real, this might be something more. And we started to care about each other even more. So yeah, I think it got harder from that point. And there were some challenges that we had to overcome.
Yeah, so obviously for anyone who's listening or watching, we obviously got together right before lovely COVID broke out.
Yeah, I remember coming back from the UK back in March. That was the last time we saw each other.
Yeah, so we went from March until August. I saw you next. So yeah, we went for that 6 months, and at the time it was definitely very difficult to obviously be apart from you, and that's the thing.
That was the part when the love was forming, basically, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. It was probably just before we left in March, before we obviously decided to get together. That was when it was at strongest. I mean, it wasn't really until maybe, I don't even think we'd even sort of said in March, had we, that, oh yeah, we're sort of a couple now. I don't even think we'd even said that. I think we just both knew on a level that obviously we were going to go forward as a couple. And then that was it, really. I had a bit of an epiphany moment. I realised how beautiful and how amazing you were. It wasn't even the fact that I just realised so many things about you. You've heard the story 100 times. I'm sure you love hearing it. Look at your face. You're like, please tell. For anyone out there who is in a long distance relationship, if you're not in a long distance relationship and there's not coronavirus going on, then it's really not going to be as bad, right? Because it wasn't like we couldn't see each other because of the distance or whatever. It was because of the fact that we couldn't actually go because our governments wouldn't let us. We couldn't travel, you couldn't go anywhere. So I think that probably served us in a great way, really, because we're able to go, 6 months without seeing each other, and it wasn't through choice. It was, because Slovakia is not that far away.
Out of our control.
Yeah, it was completely out of our control. So for anyone who is listening, who's in longest relationship, and obviously coronavirus now is, fingers crossed, coming to an end as such, I'd like to hope so. I mean, pretty much all the restrictions here have been lifted. I mean, same as Slovakia, traveling is pretty much a go now. You just got to do tests, and even sometimes you don't have to do a test anymore. So it's great.
Sorry, disclaimer, we know that other long distance relationship might have it even harder than we do.
They will, yeah, they might do.
Yeah, we are lucky. We're lucky in a way that we are not as far away from each other, and
that's true. Yeah, we're not like, you're not like in Australia or something that we have to cope with the time difference. I mean, if you are, then good luck to you, and if it's meant to be, it will be, and you'll find a way. Yeah, but I think maintaining longest relationship, which is going to obviously be the topic of this video, can be done. I mean, it can be done, but both parties have to be in the relationship and have to actively work on the relationship in order for it to work.
Definitely.
And, it's been working for us.
Yeah. What would you say is like the key?
I think the first one's got to be, the fact of how you feel. You have to, it has to be love, and it has to be something deeper than just physicality. Like, can't just be that I'm physically attracted to you. It has to be deeper than that, really. Because I don't think, like, purely just lust or anything like that would be enough to maintain a long distance relationship. I think it has to be on a deeper level. And
Yes.
with us, I fell in love with you, your personality, before I actually fell in love with your beauty. And that sounds cliche to say, but that's the honest truth, and that's the only time it's ever happened to me in my life where I was like, oh, okay. All this time, people said that personality is more important than looks. They were right. I know it obviously helps that obviously you are so incredibly beautiful, but I didn't actually see that until later into the relationship. Really, you sort of blossomed into a beautiful flower, my woman. I fell in love with you for who you are as a person. So that has been something which has been key, because I knew that we had a connection, and I could talk to you on a spiritual level, emotional level, physical level, you name it. Like, I can talk to you on any level, and we've had to strengthen that muscle, because when we first started together, there's maybe certain stuff we hadn't maybe weren't comfortable talking about. Do you know what I mean? Maybe possibly when we first were, we always had those deeper chats, and as the relationship has progressed, which is natural in anything. I mean, there's nothing I wouldn't talk to you about now or say to you about. So to circle back to your question, it has to be more than love. It has to be love. Sorry, it has to be more than physical. It has to be deeper, emotional.
Definitely. Definitely, I feel the same, because like attractive people are everywhere. It's just that one person that is attracted for you on a different level. That keeps you coming back to that person. And you were my person. You're still my person. And then obviously, that's the first motivation that you need to have, that love and the caring you have for the other person. And then I would say it's same vision for where your relationship and you as individuals are heading. Your future, obviously, because if your relationship doesn't really have future, then it's a journey, right, step by step, but you kind of sometimes need to know where you're heading and whether you are actually aligning your directions with each other, and whether it actually has whether it actually will make sense for you both in the future, whether you can actually imagine having one another in your future. That it's really important. So creating that vision of future together, something that you can hold on to when things get rough, and having that other motivation to get you going sorry, and to motivate you to do the best you can to keep the relationship and the attraction and love and spark alive. Because if you don't do that, then no matter how attractive that person is, if you don't put work into the relationship, I think it will just degenerate. Is that a word?
That is.
Then that's what I wanted to say. It's a constant work, and especially on a long distance, you can never really get comfortable with each other, because it's just what it is, You have to make the other person want to come back to you as well, and do everything you can, and that is in your interest too, for the relationship. We should also mention this trust, because that is the basic of every relationship, and especially long distance, because you're not with a person 24/7, nor a couple hours a day, or a couple of days a week. If you are like this, you probably see each other not as often. I don't want to say rarely, because that's not the case anymore, but you don't see each other as often, and the person is not going to be constantly on their phone checking whether you've messaged them, or they have their own life. So trusting them fully, trusting them, just trusting them, because you have to, like, worrying, oh, but he hasn't messaged me for like 3 hours. Where is he? What is he doing? Who is he with? You don't want to have those thoughts, because what I think the long distance relationship is really good at is giving you the space to concentrate on yourself and pursuing your own goals. Despite having that person, you kind of don't have space to be as comfortable as you could if you were with the person, like living with the person or being with them as often. So it was trust.
That's one of the pluses. So to recap, obviously you have to have love, or have something deeper than physical connection. You have to have a vision for the relationship, where the relationship is going to go in the future. Because obviously you can't always be in a long distance relationship. I mean, some couples possibly can do that. So I'm not judging, but for us, we don't want it to be forever. Exactly, it's down to the individual. But for us, it's not obviously a long-term plan, but we have a vision. And then the third one will obviously be trust, like you said, be trust. You have to have trust for the other person. And I can't add any more to the point than you said, really, because you summed it up perfectly. Other things are going to obviously maintaining our relationship has to be making the time for each other, because it's in our lives. Obviously, everyone's day-to-day lives are so busy. You only have so many hours in a day, and as you get older, you realise that more and more. So I think me and you carve out that time to speak to each other every day. Obviously, we FaceTime every single day. Usually, most of the days.
Fridays.
Usually Fridays. We don't FaceTime because obviously you have a little evening with your sister. And I usually go to the gym on a Friday evening. I change my gym times up because we do that. That's our little time apart, I guess. But usually it's around the same time every day, isn't it? Usually we sort of set it for like 7 my time, 8 your time, or like after dinner. Usually we have and we usually carve that time out for each other, and we're conscious of what the other one is doing. For example, you obviously have to wake up quite early for work. I'm conscious of that, so I make sure that I can obviously speak to you, so I know that you want to get to bed and have a good night's sleep, and vice versa. I want to do that as well. So I make sure that if I need to do something, I'll do it before, or I'll make sure I still have that time for you, and I don't take that away from obviously when you want to go to sleep and when I want to. So obviously that could affect the relationship if we're both tired. I don't think anyone
taking into consideration each other's needs.
Exactly.
Despite not being together, not being present with each other. It's adjusting your day to the other person. It's just I think selfless thing we do every day because we care about each other, and obviously we can't be together. So having that half an hour to hour every evening to catch up on everything, or sometimes we don't even feel like having meaningful conversations. We just ramble about the day, say a few stuff. We're tired, we're going to sleep. It doesn't have to be perfect every single time, but when it is, it's just even more special when we get to talk to each other about just like best friend to best friend. When we talk about stuff, it's just always a nice way to end the day with you, and I just love that time we have together. I think it's one of my favorite parts of the day, to be honest, to getting back with you and just catching up, hearing about your day, because I wasn't part of it. So it's always like listening to a little story, and it's the priority is really in the relationship.
I think that was good what you said there, that sometimes it is sometimes quicker for like being you're tired, and it's like we recognize that in each other, because sometimes people get tired. I think that's the thing of being in a long distance relationship. Like if you're together in person, then you're both tired, you just literally sit on the sofa together and you're chilling and you're in each other's company. But for us, like we have to actually engage in one another, obviously over a screen. So I think you can't, like, for example, if one evening is I'm more tired, you're more tired, for example, then you can't get stressed at the other person for that, because they're, that you just can't. And we never have done. You have to not be like, oh, why don't they want to talk to me tonight. Have I done something? It's like, no, it's just you're just tired some days, and everyone feels different. So you have to like just be conscious of that and be conscious of how the other person is feeling.
Yeah, like the other day I was literally like falling asleep.
Yeah.
It's time.
Yeah.
Because I was tired, and
Yeah.
you're literally like, okay, you're tired, go to sleep.
Yeah, and I mean last night as well, obviously I've been doing stuff all day, like working with my dad, and then obviously had to do some other stuff, involving some my stuff. Dad moved into my cupboard downstairs. So I was tired, and then we still obviously spoke to each other. Still, you said to me, we don't have to FaceTime tonight, and I could have said to you, yeah, okay, let's catch up tomorrow, and that you wouldn't have cared at all. That would have been perfectly fine. But obviously I wanted to speak to you, and we just spent a little bit of time speaking to each other. And then obviously, you could see I was tired, and it wasn't like, oh, you go to bed or blah blah. It was like,
it wasn't a meaningful conversation yesterday.
Yeah, it was just
it was just catching up.
And that was perfectly okay. So I think you have to have that understanding and in the relationship in order to make it work.
Yeah, definitely. We're not perfect, and we're only humans.
Oh, so. No, of course. Yeah, of course.
So you put an effort on your side to be there for the other person, and understanding their situation. If they're feeling tired, then okay, I can take that new advantage. You can have an evening for yourself and do something that to spoil yourself or to make yourself feel better. So
And I think as well, having fun ultimately, like let's be honest, you gotta have fun with the other person. Most of the time we're always laughing and we're having jokes, and we haven't actually done it because obviously people don't know, but we were together obviously for a month over Christmas. So we haven't actually. I've been back. Yeah, I've been back now for 2 weeks. We haven't actually played any games usually, but usually we do. We obviously play games. We usually play poll games or anything fun really.
We love poll games.
That we fun. We haven't done one in a while actually, because obviously we were together for a month. And then before that we hadn't spent them, and then I've been back 2 weeks now. But to be honest, me and you've just been grinding, and we've been kind of doing other things, haven't we? So we haven't done that, but that's obviously. But me and you are always laughing about stuff anyway. We send each other silly videos. So, but
that leads me to another point, and that is never being lazy to get to know each other even deeper, because that's the basics of us doing all poll games, and we have a couple games that we play together which involve asking each other's questions, personal questions, deeper meaningful questions, to enhance the communication you have with your partner. And I think that's a really incredible way of getting to know each other better, because you know as Jay Shetty and Raji, you love them both. Inspiration. But as they say, I was listening to one of their podcasts, they were saying that you're basically meeting new person, your partner, every single day with the way they're growing into new personality, with all the experiences of every day. You're, as I always say, you were a completely different person when I met you to who you actually are today. And I feel very blessed to that I was part of your journey every single step of the way, and seeing you grow into this amazing man that you're today. That's new version of you that I didn't know back then, and I feel like you're just gonna keep growing, keep changing, and so will I. So obviously you will have to get to know me again, and it's a constant process of getting to know each other. You never know enough about the person, because obviously I don't know about your thought processes that you have in your head. I don't know. You're a completely different person to me. So me putting a conscious effort into getting to know you in each situation, getting to know what you think, your opinions, your preferences, you know, like for us being in a long distance, I enjoy every single experience that we haven't experienced together yet. So whether that was doing acro yoga together when you were here over Christmas, that was an absolutely incredible experience, because we kind of were in a different position, in a different experience, and we were able to like work together and get to know a bit more about each other through that experience. So yeah, getting to know each other despite no matter how long you know each other, because that's just the constant process that will go on in your relationship as long as you know each other, as long as you're loving each other and you're with each other. So yeah, I'd say that.
I completely agree. Yeah, it's because well, firstly, I completely agree. So thank you for that point. And that's the thing, because we've got choice in our everyday lives, that sometimes we get like fed up of having to like go deeper on things, because we're always like trying to choose what color this is or what I want for this. We have so much choice, sort of overstimulated in so many ways, that sometimes in a relationship you sometimes don't want to go deeper. If you have to like train that muscle again, you like your mind is like a muscle, you have to train that. For example, if we were talking and you have to go beyond like how was your day kind of thing, you have to go beyond that. And sometimes it is difficult, because I said, of all the stuff that we have every day, and we're tired, we've got this and that, so you have to train that muscle to go beyond that. And stuff like card games that we've done is a great way of getting that out, because sometimes it is difficult to do that, you know. So having like another stimulus, or like an activator, do you know what I mean? Like the card then activates the conversation. So it's little things that can help. Anything that can help you in a relationship is a great thing, and use it as a tool, you know. And games and stuff like that are a tool to strengthen our relationship and to bring things out of me and you that sometimes are harder to get out of, you know.
Yeah, and it's something we can do over long distance as well. But I'm pretty sure that
we always do
that doesn't apply to long distance. To just long distance. There's like
we were doing that
good thing in every possible relationship out there. So
so for anyone who is listening, you can find like couples card games online. Just go on Amazon or anywhere like that. Don't have any affiliate links yet in the description, but I can maybe find something to put in there of the examples that we have. And we've done quite a few now, haven't we? I think that we're still going through the big one I got you, because there was like probably over 400 questions in there.
You're so lovely, because you are so lovely, because like I told you about the idea. I think I was telling you about this one game I wanted to get. And I actually got one from my mom. Well, it's not mine, but it was hers, and I took it with me when one time I went to
the original ones.
Yeah, in Slovak. But yeah, since then you were the one actually putting in the effort into that particular area, because you were the one that gifted me all the card games, and then hence we could do it together when we were together, or even long distance. We are so able to do it, and I really appreciate that.
You're welcome. I appreciate you, bringing it into a relationship and then allowing us to build on that. So thank you for everything.
Teamwork.
that is one of the things. Teamwork is
exactly.
There's it has to be. You have to show up for the relationship every day. It can't just be. It has to be balanced. It can't just be one person having more input or output than the others. I mean, the balance will shift from time to time. Like one day you'll maybe put in more effort if I'm tired, and one day I'll put in more effort if you're feel a certain way, or you're upset or down or whatever. But it always levels out. It's always a level playing field at the end, because it puts it out. I think final point for maybe both of us, that you just have to, that any long distance relationship can last. It's obviously up to you guys to maintain it, and you just need to use all the tools at your disposal in order to make it such. Like we said, having the love for each other, having the trust, having a shared vision, and everything else that obviously we discussed on, having fun,
interest in knowing each other.
Interest, knowing it. Yeah, it takes it takes a lot to maintain any relationship, and
it doesn't take village, it takes only two people.
exactly, yeah, it's true, yeah, that's very true. I like that. And it takes a lot to maintain any relationship, and then long distance one, maybe it's not even that different. I mean, you have to deal with, you have different things to deal with, but ultimately it's the same. The other factor is obviously you don't get to see each other as often, but there's so many pluses to that. Like, it allows you yourself time to grow. You don't take the other person for granted. You don't sort of get sick of them. Do you know what I mean? It's not. I never take you for granted when I'm with you. Like, I know your worth. I've never, I know most of my time we spend with each other is, a month, a couple of times now. But I've never got sick of you during that time because I know your worth.
We had our moments. We had our moments.
Yeah,
we had our moments
differences, of
every
course.
single relationship.
Yeah, and
but I'm glad for those experiences as well, because with every
to grow
experience like that, it just comes growth out of that. So
exactly. Yeah.
So
yeah, it's 100% possible. We're living proof of that, and we've obviously got a goal to be living together in the next couple of years for sure. So thank you. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
No, just if anyone watches this, thank you for your time.
Yeah. Time is the most crucial.
Valuable time.
Yeah.
And hopefully this might help someone if they're going through similar experiences we've been going through. They might find something informative or something that they can actually take out of this video. And it was really fun to play with you.
It was. Thank you for turning up and helping.
Thank you for turning up.
Yeah, but again, for showing up for the relationship. Thank you for that, and thank you for anyone that's watched. Me and Teska are going to hope to do one video per week on different topics. I've got some other things written down actually, so we'll just have to go through those. So thank you for your time. Appreciate it. If you did enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up. Teska, can we get a thumbs up? Double thumbs up. The sun is now blinding me. So thank you very much. Wherever you are in the world, have a good day. If there's anything you'd like to add, or anything else the viewer would like to ask me and Teska, put it in the comments below, and we'll get back to you. So thank you very much.
Thank you.